please introduce yourselves as whoever wants to speak first.
Yes, my name is Lorri Justice, and I represent myself. I am not an attorney, just a citizen here. I'm a member of the Republican Party. I've been a Republican for a long time, and I'm very active in the party itself. I'm very unhappy with what I'm seeing with this bill. This is not what we are. We believe in transparency. It's in our Republican Party platform. This is not transparency. It is not. And I think if you look around you, I was here last night. I was one of the people who was here till 7:20 when Senator Hester came in. Everyone here last night was against this bill. There were Republicans in this room, there were Democrats in this room, and there were independents in this room. The only people in favor of a change to our FOIA bill are the bureaucrats, and that is it. The regular, everyday voters, we do not want FOIA gutted. This is the third attempt in recent history to change our FOIA bill. We had 2 bills last session. Now we have this. What is the problem with FOIA? Our government needs to be more transparent to our citizens, not less transparent. This is our we're the taxpayers. This is our money. And I keep hearing talk about the governor. With all due respect, y'all don't work for the governor. We elected you to represent us, the people. And so I'm going to keep it brief. I'm just going to ask you to vote no on this and leave our FOIA bill alone. Any questions?
So, Lorri, you said you were here last night to speak against this bill.
Correct.
This bill wasn't filed until 10 o'clock.
I'm sorry?
This bill wasn't filed until 10 o'clock.
No, this bill wasn't filed, but I've read the other bill as well. And I don't want to change to our FOIA. I want our government more transparent, not less transparent.
So
I want to leave the bill alone. Leave FOIA alone.
Do you see the difference in this bill and the bill?
I have read through and I have seen some differences, minor differences. And actually yesterday, I was here all day yesterday, and Senator Hester explained there were going to be some minor changes in the bill, which is why we all waited around to read the new bill and to be able to speak about it. That didn't happen. And I do know that the new bill came out last night at 9:20 or whatever time it was. And I just want to say that I don't understand why we need less transparency. And I understand we are hearing about the governor's security and all of that kind of thing. And I don't think anyone wants the governor to be threatened. Unfortunately, when you're a high-profile politician, that happens sometimes. But the governor has a lot of security. She certainly has more than you have. And I think the governor will be fine with the security that is provided for her. I hate that we have lunatics running around threatening anyone. But I want our FOIA to stay the same. I want us to be able to know what our government is doing at all times. We're the people. We fund it.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? Seeing none, go ahead, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You brought up the governor's security, and there's, I don't know, in my opinion, there's always a fine line balance between complete and total transparency, which I think most people will agree that that is something that the government should be open to, and security plans, processes, procedures, routes, things like that. Do you think the security plans, routes, procedures that the state police employ in the governor's executive detail, protection detail, should be open for anyone who wishes to cause the governor
I think on
harm?
past travel, I don't see a problem with it. Future travel, no. I don't want to know what she's going to do, and I understand sometimes that needs to be kept secret. But anything that's happened in the past, there's no reason someone can't know who was on a flight. That doesn't put her at risk.
Well, if someone is on a flight, the processes and procedures in the past indicate what the future is, what their plans are.
I don't agree with that.
I don't have to know the names of everybody or the phone numbers or the addresses of the officers that are protecting the governor personally.
Right.
I don't know why that needs to be public information and displayed for the public to see to go target those officers. I think we need to protect the governor's not only family, but also the officers and their lives and their personal families as well, that someone might target them. Do you disagree with that?
I don't think that people need to know the addresses of the officers and the phone numbers of the officers, but I think a list of who's on a flight is not, on a past flight, is not going to put the governor in any danger, especially considering the security that surrounds her at all times.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Senator Hester.
So my guess is you are not a professional security person. You're not
No,
with
I'm
police or
not.
state police. Okay. Well, professional security people believe that when you can pattern how many people are on a flight, how many are staffs, and how many are state police, it absolutely puts the governor at potential risk. When you know they have 1 or 4 or 3 as a typical state police traveling with the governor, or if it was none sometimes on certain trips. So professional security people believe that it is something that is imperative, that people do not know how many state police traveled with the governor, typical travel because of patterns. That's what they tell us. That's what we're going to do based on what professional security people tell us is accurate.
Okay.
And there could be some people that believe that we should open her up for some potential liability. I don't agree with that.
Is there any other questions? Seeing none, Jennifer, if you will introduce yourself. Please turn your mic off.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Lancaster. I am an attorney. I am the president of Saline County Republican Women. I'm also the Republican Party's chair of the 2nd Congressional District. I am speaking today in my own capacity. I'm not representing anybody. Information is the currency of our democracy. A well-informed public is the core of our democracy, and this bill does not bode well for our democracy. Our state motto is that the people rule. But the people depend on access to government information to monitor and report on what is happening in our government so that we can make reasoned judgments about our leaders. But you, Republicans no less, in direct contradiction to our Republican Party principles and platforms, are taking away our access to information that allows us to know what is happening in the government that we fund. This bill is not just an assault on transparency or accountability, it's also an assault on our republic. I'd also like to speak directly to the issue that was just brought up about the governor's security. If the governor and if you all were truly concerned about her security, we would see a proposed bill with a very narrowly tailored exception for her and her family's security. And I imagine that that would have bipartisan support. But what we're seeing is that that is being used as an excuse to pass a sweeping bill that is effectively gutting FOIA for the same reasons that were given by my colleague, Senator Tucker. We don't agree on a whole lot, obviously, but he is absolutely right on this, as is Professor Steinbuck, and I'm sure the other attorneys that practice in litigation and will know these things. They're going to be speaking to this as well. So I would encourage you to please quit trying to mislead the people. We're much smarter than you give us credit for. If you're truly concerned about her security, pass a simple bill excluding the details, the security details for her children and her family. And we the people will happily support that. I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, ma'am. You understand, as a republic, we're the people too. The people have elected us. We are called by the governor to this situation, to do what is on the call. On the call is not narrowly focused. Understood?
Yes, I understand that.
Okay. So if we did a bill that was narrowly focused to security, it could be thrown out because it don't pertain to the call. Do you understand that?
The call has listed FOIA, And and the governor went on the record saying that this was for the security of her family. You all are using the exact same excuse here today. That has been the main.
There's multiple things on that
So
call.
it needs to be, I'm just asking that you are candid with the people
We are. We spent all day yesterday being.
behind closed doors.
That is our job as legislators. That is our job. To get a product that is better for the state, and that is what we did as legislators yesterday. You can call it behind closed doors, whatever you want to call it. That's how things are done, is to get this better product. You see the product in front of you was not something just crazy, wicked. And I'm not going to accept that to be put out in this committee. It is not crazy, wicked what was done to get this product in front of you today.
Well, I believe you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say crazy wicked. But I would also ask, who is it truly better for, the bureaucrats or the people?
This is better for your government to function. This product is better for your efficiency of government to function. And, I mean, you can put a black cloud over what we've done in the last day, but I'm not going to accept it as the chairman of this committee and has worked all day yesterday on trying to get a better product for the people of Arkansas that is as close to the FOIA as we could get outside of the federal things that was in that original bill. And this is an Arkansas product. Is there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, ma'am. We will go on to, is it Pamela Boyd and Carl Obadiah Watson? Nah, going down the list. I'm just going down the list.